So there I was, August 15th, 1998 on campus at Howard University. My first time being in the District of Columbia. My first time, let alone being at Howard. I was right over there at Douglas Hall. It was Meet Your Campus Pal night. I was meant to meet my campus pal. See, my campus pal had written me a letter. This is before text messaging and mass emailing. He wrote me a letter to tell me about himself and welcome me to Howard. He told me he wrestled. I was a semi-state wrestler in the state of Indiana. He told me he was a COBIS major. I was going to come in and be a computer science major. He also mentioned in there that he was a man of Omega Psi Phi. My dad is an Omega, 1962, Rho Sigma, Purdue University. So I was like, oh, I'd love to meet him. So I got in there and met him, and I uttered the words in front of everybody. There were about 30 people in the room, and I said, when are you going to let me in the front? And this campus pal looked at me in his comedic fashion and said, very funny, loser. How about half past never? So of course I was embarrassed. But in 2002, I went on to cross in Omega Psi Phi Alpha Chapter. And I've kept up with that brother. And 19 years later, he remains one of my closest friends. And dare I say, I'm one of his favorite cues. And the man I'm talking about is sitting right there, Mr. Leonard Armand Robinson. And I say that to bring about the theme. We meet under unique circumstances, but become some of the best friends. Greetings, distinguished guests. Greetings, friends, supporters. Greetings, brothers of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Greetings, brothers of the Mother Pearl Alpha Chapter, the Mother Pearl period. It is a privilege and honor to speak to you. Thank you to the committee. Thank you to the foundation for selecting me. You could have selected anyone, and I thank you for selecting me. But I'm moving on because I know we're pressed for time. I got a message to deliver because we meet under unique circumstances, but become some of the best of friends. And I want you to think about that right now. Because you look around the room, this is a friendship fraternity. And I think we met under some unique circumstances. So if you met under those unique circumstances, and we know friendship is our constant striving goal, then we got to ask, how do we create these unique circumstances? How do we foster them so we can keep this fraternity going, and there, I say keep this school and globe going? So I think we create them in three ways. We create them by, one, having the openness for friendship. We create it by, two, having the hunger and humility for knowledge. We can create it in a third way by having the spirit of persevering uplift. So let me go to my first point. You gotta have the openness for friendship. You gotta be willing to extend a hand. You gotta be willing to step out on faith. Faith decided by the Bible, Reverend Hales, is faith, substance, things hoped for, evidence of things not seen yet. You gotta go out on faith. I think back to the year 2000 when I was pursuing Omega, meeting the shy and polite guy on the 2000 line, Reginald Adams. And I'm stepping to Mr. Adams and saying, I'm interested in joining your fraternity. And he said, get the bleep bleep out of my face and don't ever say a bleep bleep word to anybody in it. You'll never be acute. And that unique experience that he created right there, I have a feeling many people have a similar experience in the room. I'm not going to call no names, obviously, but I think we have those similar experiences. But till this day, Reginald is one of my closest friends, and I have his line jacket at my house in Orlando, and I can now fit it because I lost 60 pounds. But he remains one of my closest friends. You see, we got to be open for it. In both senses, in a younger and the wiser sense, we have to be open for friendship. And we can't be closed off. I know everybody's not an extrovert by nature, and you may want to say I'm an introvert, but this is a friendship fraternity, and we extend the hand of friendship to everybody. And it's not limited to just Omega. Friendship is essential to the soul, goes worldwide. We're a worldwide organization. And it doesn't just happen in the first or second year, but it's a lifetime commitment to it. Moving on to my next point, you got to have the humility and hunger for knowledge. Seek and ye shall find. You know, knowledge is power is what most people say, but I say knowledge is power to those who apply it. You may have some knowledge, you may know a little something, Brother Brown, but you got to know how to apply it and put it in the right directions. You got to know how to, and we learn that by seeking knowledge from other people, seeking those who've applied it. I think there's some awesome students in here aspiring to get to different professions. And there's opportunity right now to get with some brothers who've already made it, who are established dentists, lawyers, doctors, photographers, analysts, speakers. You got every profession in the room represented right now, and we know within the depths of Omega Psi Phi Alpha chapter. So you can seek them. But in seeking that knowledge, we got to seek knowledge also from our youth too. We can't cut them off because they got some knowledge. We got some wonderful, brilliant minds out there we can learn a lot about. It's becoming a technological world. There's some of our neophytes in this room right now who are beasts at the social media game and can start a business in social media marketing right now. We can learn from them, and we can also teach them how to start a business. I was just visiting our brother Montrell McMorris, who suffered a stroke about 4 weeks ago, and he's not able to attend this. But I did my speech for him, and he said, hey, you need to add something to your speech. So I'm going to add what he told me, and it's the only reason I have a piece of paper up here. He said, seek and keep on seeking, and knock and keep on knocking. So just keep at it. Keep at it, and don't stop in that seeking knowledge. And what we also talked about, we further discovered that you may know it all, but nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. So when they know how much you care, that moves us on to our next point. You got to have the spirit of a persevering uplift. See, you could be successful in life in some instances, but you're not truly successful until you have successors. It is your responsibility to give back. It is your responsibility to help others. It is your responsibility to uplift. You know, you see some people who've been in a struggle, they say, for the last 20 or 30 years, and I ask them myself, how does the brother struggle that long? And then I look at our implied model that says, lifting as we climb. So I'm starting to wonder, if you're not lifting, how are you going to really climb? It's imperative that you got to pick some people up in order to climb. And if you're really trying to get off your feet, and you're in a spiritual sense, Reverend Hutchinson, you're not going to get off your feet until you first get on your knees and pray to God. That's the reality. Yes, this is a Christian organization. Christian manhood is what we stick to. But you have to uplift. See, somebody let you sleep on that floor at the conclave. Somebody let you live in that room for 4 months. Somebody helped you out and bought your chemistry books. Somebody helped you out to get that down payment on your house. Somebody helped you to start your business. You can't just mosey on with life and say, okay, I'm good, I got it together, I'm just going to raise my family. See, we don't want to pay back. We want you to pay it forward. You've received the set out. You've sucked up the set out. You've done everything. You said, this is great, I've had it all, I'm good. But no, now it's still time to set it out for somebody else. He too must cross in that twilight. Damn, good friend, we're building that bridge for him. So you got to uplift, and you got to pick forward. And let me take my own testimony. See, y'all know me. I'm Russell Drake. I've been out. I've been out around town, got down with the get down, groove with the cues, on occasion moved the fool to swoop. But at the same time, I've been working to get forward. Mind you, I don't even drink anymore. I'm proud to be the vice chair of the State Democratic Black Caucus in Florida. Mind you, the only male on that executive board. I'm you all's representative, and I thank those brothers who paid it forward for me. So I'm trying to pay it forward for others through these words and also different contributions that I continue to give, even though I didn't get my t-shirts that year, brothers. It's all good. But in paying it forward, that's your job. You got to look at Howard University. This is where Omega intersects with Howard. They have a mission for leadership for America in the global community. And you know that leadership in the Howard University community often, and you do it quite well. I think we got some good Houston presidents in here. And generally we used to say if the Houston president isn't a Q, he should want to be a Q. And if the Houston president is a female, she should want a Q. And I hope that's still the case. Let the church say amen. But when we go outside the gates of Howard University, we got to carry this same spirit of uplift and persevering uplift. It takes patience, it takes time, it takes dedication. It takes you taking a step back and saying, this person may not be up to where I'm at right now, but he's going to get there one day. And we got to pull these folks up. We got the opportunity to do it right now. You got some brothers that got the spirit of uplift in this room, and I see many of them. Look at your MC, Mr. Conrad Woody, with the spirit of uplift, former Houston president, doing big things, and one day you will be a trustee at Howard University. I look around the room, I don't see him, but Brother James Thompson, a brother that was just honored with the 100 Black Men Distinguished Honorary Award for this year. I look around the room, I know hard-working brothers like a brother like Jaron Brown, who's really paved the way forward for all the brothers that crossed after him and continues to set a good example. Yes, I said it, Jerry. And dare I say Mr. Aquanius Freeman. Aquanius Freeman, who we were talking about, who does his duty that is best, but I dare say goes above and beyond the call of duty. And he does it right here. But then I look at those brothers outside of this area who continue to do it every day and have done it for 20 plus years. I look at a man like Dr. Generic Truly Stewart, who's creating unique circumstances in Louisiana right now, where he's a professor at Grambling University. I look at a man like Dr. Alan Tolles, who's been a bosses of every chapter he's been a part of. After he left Alpha chapter, went to Meharry Medical School, and now is in New York. He continues to create those unique circumstances for people so they can build the bonds of friendship. I look at a man like your Arna Reeves, Brother Darrell Orlando Ledbetter, as well as Brother Vernon Motlow, as well as Brother Dwayne Foster, who continue to set these unique circumstances and have been doing so for 20 plus years. They are doing great things, and it's our responsibility to take our talents outside of the gate. There's no reason for us not to be active. Ed Sapp, 1962, Kappa Psi, former bosses of this chapter, wrote a book called This Is Out the Chapter. Tells us the greatness of Alpha Chapter and what's to be. 1973 Alpha Chapter, Larry Brown said, because we're Alpha Chapter, everybody in our chapter should be financial and active at all times. 1977 Alpha Chapter, Brother Marcel Pratt went on to tell me, this is Alpha Chapter and that's that. And then 1979 Alpha Chapter, Brother Ivory G. Cooper, president of the Mother Pearl Foundation, he added on to that, this is Alpha Chapter and that's that, mother. 1986 Alpha Chapter, Frank Bam Bam Wright Jr. goes on to say, heavy is the arm that bears the aid. 993 Alpha Chapter, Tashawn Robinson says, Alpha Chapter is omnipresent within Omega. That means we're everywhere. We should be everywhere. We should be doing everything. Excellence should be the goal. We have the history. We have the knowledge. We have the brothers right here to transfer the knowledge to you. We should be leading in this fraternity. There should be no reason that the last bosses, grand bosses of this fraternity from Alpha Chapter had been Brother Milo C. Murray, 1924 Alpha Chapter. He served in the 50s. There should be no reason for that. We got a lot of talent in the room that should be spread around the fraternity. A lot of great works, a lot of great people in here doing things. And in the spirit of uplift, let me mention Brother Montrell McMorris, as I mentioned before. He did suffer a stroke, but we met under some unique circumstances. Here was Brother Montrell, a young high school student coming into Howard. He was going to play football and major in engineering and needed somewhere to stay. Here I was, the president of the School of Engineering, pursuing Omega at the time, doing some unique circumstances of my own, Brother Walker. But I said, okay, he's going to stay with me. It's all good. He's going to stay with me. You know, little did I know that he don't want to join the same honor fraternity as me, go on to finish in school of engineering and become an Omega man. And we still be the closest of friends 17 years later. See, we meet under these unique circumstances, but in time, they become some of our best friends. Not just closest, but some of our best friends. And if you think about that, and this is Alpha Chapter, this is the month of Pearl, this is the beginning, then we got to think in the long run, we're trying to get to Omega Chapter. We're trying to get to that celestial chapter up in the sky. And you think about all those people that are in Omega Chapter who have been created some unique circumstances along the way. You think about people like the late Benjamin Douglas James III, whom we have a plaque dedicated to right there at the monument right now, who created some unique circumstances and was part of unique circumstances and meeting many of you in here. You think about some people like Brother Motlow's brother, the late Brother Alfred Motlow, who could sing like a bird and was a wonderful brother and worked his butt off for the organization, created unique circumstances. You think of brothers like the late Brother Dwayne Poindexter, one of the twins from the 1977 line, who continued to foster unique circumstances when they got everybody confused with his twin brother when y'all were online. I heard the stories. Unique circumstances were created with the 1979 line with a man named Ted Cook. He created unique circumstances for many of people, and y'all met him under some unique circumstances. A man like 1974 Alpha Chapter, the late Kermit Earl Ferguson, met under some unique circumstances and created some unique circumstances. Let the church say amen. I've heard the story. A man like 1973, who 1973 line who could sing like a bird, took his talents worldwide, was singing across the globe and passed away, Brother Nate Ingram, created unique circumstances. A man like Brother Michael Nixon from the 1970 line. A man like Brother Samson P. Boozer from the 1971 line, who architected the monument that the fraternity loves right now. met under some unique circumstances. A man on the 1966 line, nicknamed Cookie, met under some unique circumstances because he was pledging the same time his brother was pledging, except his brother was pledging Alpha, and his name is Harold Cook. A man like Horace Dwight Boston, who transferred him from Alabama A&M and literally was one of the oldest brothers on the yard, dare I say, had 30 brands and went so hard the brothers felt it wouldn't be robbery to name an award after him and be giving out the 37th iteration of it right here, which that brother just received. Horace Dwight Boston created some unique circumstances for people to come in under. A man like the late Chester Redhead, 1948 Alpha chapter, the father of Brother Charlie Redhead, created unique circumstances in the 70s. And if I acknowledge the 70s, I got to acknowledge the 50s, Brother Brown, James Bates Brown III, because see, this is James Bates Brown III from 2000 Alpha chapter, but I would be remiss if I didn't reference Heavy Jim, James Bates Brown Jr. on the 1957 line, who created some unique circumstances that actually was an honoree at the 2002 Charter Day dinner, and who came to me in my face and created a unique circumstance and said, "You read my bio wrong, young brother." So yeah, we met under unique circumstances, but got to be some of the closest friends in his life. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention 1928 Alpha Chapter Brother Eddie Hanans Taylor. Brother Eddie Taylor, one of the eldest brothers that lived and be active in the fraternity, who was the assistant dean of the line that put that sundial right there that we just rededicated 3 months ago. We met him under some unique circumstances, and if you saw him at the conclave, he was making it unique for all of us up in there, the way he was going off on the mic. And last but not least, there was a man that came from Alabama, moved to D.C., had a southern talk, could cook, was heavy at one point, and he looked at everybody in this room and said, "Get out of my face, you pig uckers." And his name is Frank Byron Patterson. He created some unique circumstances for us. So if you know brothers that create unique circumstances, that's what we got to continue to do. We got to create unique circumstances in this chapter. We got to create them in Omega. We got to create them across the globe outside the scope of Omega. But last but not least, there's a person that created some unique circumstances. You know, as I looked on the news and stuff, I see it's snowing out here in D.C. I live in Florida. We don't got none of this. But it's snowing here in D.C. It's snowing in Houston. It's snowing in Baton Rouge. But then on the West Coast, it's fire. It's raging fires. You know, so some weird stuff is going on right there. So I'm like, everybody's saying, what are they doing up on Capitol Hill? But I got to tell you, my prayers were answered on a different hill. So under some unique circumstances, there was a man crucified, dead and buried, and on the third day got up for my sins. And that man, under some unique circumstances, paved the way for you. Yes, I come to you always in the spirit of Jesus Christ, Lord of Lords, King of Kings. Unique circumstances is what we need to be more in the world. Unique circumstances is what take Alpha Chapter to higher heights. Unique circumstances and the spirit of friendship is essential to the soul. It's what's important to Omega. It's what's important to Alpha Chapter. What's essential to life. Thank you.
That was a good one.
Can't bring the sun, bro. Yeah, buddy.